Hi, I am Gambia, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between a lace closure and a silk base closure. I've been getting a lot of questions about which one I do recommend or which is best to use and so on. I don't have a specific one that I do recommend. I like both. I'm going in depth on the difference between a lace closure and a silk base closure. These are the closures that are most common on the market today. It gives you a lot of styling options, and you have the possibility to try out different hair textures or different colors without you damaging your own natural hair. If you do have breakage on your edges, I think a closure is a very good way to go, because it would definitely give your leave out and your edges a break if it's installed properly. Here you see a lace closure. A lace closure is one of the most popular closures on the market. Most people tend to buy a lace closure in comparisons to all the other closures out there in the market today. With the lace closure, you have two options when it comes to the lace. There are Swiss lace and there is French lace. The difference is Swiss lace is more thinner and more softer. But the cons are that it's more sensitive to handle them. With the French lace, the lace is thicker, is more durable, and it's more recommended to people who have not using lace closures or lace wigs before, because if it rips, it will be kind of hard to fix it. So we do recommend you using French lace if you're not comfortable in using lace closures. Another thing that you have to think about is the lace color. You would want the lace color to blend well with your own skin tone. If it's too light, it's gonna show. If it's too dark, it's gonna show. So you would want the lace color to look very transparent. Okay, so you would want to look for a lace closure that matches your own natural skin tone. What you would have to do when installing the lace closure is to cut the front part. You would want to cut it as close to the baby hairs as possible. You can see that the baby hairs are kind of long on this lace closure. I would recommend you cutting the baby hairs to your preferred length. Okay, when it comes to the density, it basically means the amount of hair that has been tied onto the lace. A low density, maybe around 80-90, will make the closure very sheer, and it will look very thin. If you do have a thinning like hairline, or if you want to go for that look, if you don't want a lot of hair, then you would choose a density that is low. Very high densities up to like 150, 180, they are very, very, very thick. It will give you a very full look, but the parting will be less noticeable. And this particular closure shows you a middle part. We also have the three-way part closures, which basically means that you will have a noticeable parting in the middle, but also two on the sides, which means that you can just part it and flip the parts whenever you like, basically. A freestyle closure simply means that the closures are not tied in a specific way that gives you a parting, which means that you can part the closure whichever way you like. I would also say that even with the three-way closures and the middle part closures, you could style the closures any way you like. Baby hairs, as you see here, are very good to mask the demarcation between the lace edge and your skin. You would want to think about how the hair is tied onto the lace. Many of my clients use different brushes or combs, and they would comb and brush the hair from the lace outwards. That means that you're putting a lot of tension on the knots. The knot simply means where the hair is tied onto the lace, and it's very delicate. So if you pull and if you really pull and comb and brush it, eventually it will rip off. So that will cause your closure to shed a lot. We want to keep the closures for a long time, and I would probably say that you can use it like up to 7-8 times in a row if you take good care of it. So the knots, like I said, are simply these small black dots that you see on the lace. So here you can see that the hairs are tied onto the lace. What many people do is that they bleach the knots. Like, bleaching the knots simply means that you make them lighter. What you have to think about is when bleaching the knots, it can be tricky because sometimes you can get that orangey, brassy color. You also weaken in the knots. So where the hair is tied, when using bleach, it becomes weaker and the hair is more prone to shed. If you want more tips on and tricks on how to make your lace closure more natural looking, I would suggest you read our tips on www.hairbyella.com. Okay, I do wanted to show you a quick view of our 1-inch lace closure. It's only 1 inch across, but it has a predominantly visible parting in the middle. And what this does for you is just to, create a natural parting instead of, having a leave out or closing the weave in a certain way. This is a silk base closure. The biggest difference between a silk base closure and a lace closure is that a silk base closure has a thin layer of silk fabric between the lace or the mesh and the hair strands. Sorry, which will give the appearance of more natural looking scalp. It will look like the hair strands grow from your own scalp. The biggest problem that many people have with the silk base closures are that the demarcation is more noticeable with a silk base closure. That simply means that the transition from the scalp and your forehead or your forehead will be very noticeable because the silk base closure are thicker than a lace closure. But we made something different with our silk base closures. As you can see, the back is actually a silk base closure, but the front, almost like 1 centimeter, is actually a lace closure. So that means that the front will lay very, very flat, and you would get the pros of a lace closure in the front, and then the rest will be, a silk base closure. This method makes it very easy for our silk base closures to blend well. As you can see, the silk color of the lace is pretty brown. What we do is we match the silk color to your own scalp. Many of the silk based colors on the market today are very white, which makes it, you know, hard to blend. As you can see, the lace closure also has these baby hairs. I would definitely recommend you to use a tangle teaser brush or something like this when you are combing or brushing your hair extensions. This is my favorite brush of all times, and what I like about using this is also that it doesn't pull or tug the hair strands. And this is a close-up on how the silk base closure looks. So as you can see, the parting is very realistic. So this is all for this video. I hope that we touch upon the things that you wanted to know. If you do have more questions, or if I missed something, please leave the question below, and I will definitely answer you. If you want to come in contact with us, please just visit our website or our Instagram or Facebook page. And if you have questions or ideas about new videos or other types of lace items, please just contact us and we'll do a video about that. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time in my next video. Bye.